Welcome to Museum Holic. I'm your host, Ann Pasek, and today we are going to be talking about the Titanic. As I posted the previous content, it was about Titanic, but today this is the content of real talk. So I want you to stay tuned and bear with me when I have to mention which museums around the world that feature all artifacts of Titanic. And I bet you knew what is Titanic, and if you don't, then you have to stay tuned. Then we will going. So talking about the Titanic, unsinkable ship, it was an awesome movie, and I think for some of you guys know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, if you hear the song by Celine Dion, I think you knew what I meant. And this time, this is about a real talk topic because I will be talking to you regarding about the Titanic museums and the ongoing exploration of Titanic, because there's still a lot of artifacts that are unable to taken out from the depth of the sea. It's because of how deep the sea level is. And if you are going to check the link that I will post somewhere around here, or especially on the screen, that is a lot of explorers doing a continuation research for gathering all artifacts, and it's not going to be easy and it's not going to be cheap because of how many years passed by. The Titanic is buried somewhere under the deep of the sea. So my point this time when I'm talking about the Titanic, it's because what I saw the National Geographic cover, it's about the Titanic exploration and artifacts, and I'm gonna show you as well on the screen the National Geographic publication that talks about the exploration and the artifacts and the continuation of Titanic's excavation. And of course, you will know that one of the famous director in Hollywood put a lot of effort into it, and he's very active as well in part of this exploration. I'm gonna share to you the experience of going to Titanic museums, and I bet some of you have already an experience. But my experience is quite interesting because, especially when you have to blog or going there to take some photos, the experience that I have is some of the artifacts are in a box and then it's fully protected. And when the viewer like me, when I have to be closer to the artifacts and look at it, it will beep. There is a security alarm, so it means like if you are leaning on the glass, the alarm will just gonna kick in. So that's how secured it is, because of course the artifacts needs to be preserved, and this has been so many years. So just letting you know that some of the artifacts as well, there are also very expensive. Like the one that I saw was a piece of a diamond ring, and you can see that on the screen, and that is a very protective artifact as well. So all of these are in covered in a glass covered with all the description and very protective. And the other also that I want to mention is the um, interactive for the visitors that the museum have to put that out in order at least everybody will have fun while visiting the museum. The one that I like about is the boarding pass uh, for for that Titanic, and that's the original printout. So the one that I have, it's kind of a game. So I have the name of the passenger and which level or which class they are in, and where they started uh, in their voyage, and of course at the very end of the museum, there is a big area where all the names of the passengers, and the one that I the one that the one that on the list of that boarding pass that I have, of course he did not make it. So that's kind of an interactive fun and games that the museum has to offer when visiting to Titanic museums. So it's very fun. And another thing also is there is a sample of how cold the water was during the Titanic uh, time when it was sank. So it's I don't know how to express this, but you have to dip in your hands, and right away you can feel how cold the water was. So if you leave your hands there for too long, of course you will get a hyperthermia. So that's how interactive the museum was. And the other one also that I like about is how the museums put together when the artifact showed the first class, the second class, and the third class. So you will see the difference of house like plates, forks, and other items that they found in there. And I think this is amazing, and how they can be able to figure it out which one that's the first class. Of course we know that's from the rich people, and then the middle class, and the lower class. So it's amazing to see that, and the work that they've done for all of the explorers and all of the curators. That is the best museums visits I ever have. But of course I will continue exploring other museums around the world, as I mentioned to you, because each museums have a uh, different vibe, as I said. So again, this is the real talk about the Titanic, and if you get the chance, you can get the copy for the National Geographic about Titanic publication that they posted, or you can just check it out, the Explorer club. And if you want, you can join the club, but it's a very difficult to get in, depending on what are you are backgrounds and so on, and there are some requirements that you can look up to it. So again, this is your host and Pasek. Until next time, and this is the real talk for Museum Holic TV.